Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Okay, terrific. Now it's the Malcolm Go podcast. It's Wednesday, November 18th, 2020. Tony and Tyler back after a 2-week pause. What's happening, Ty?
We recorded last week. We each predicted a win.
we knew it was coming.
So we just, everyone thought that was going to be a win last week. That was a layup, really.
I have to admit, I was mentally exhausted of podcasting. I went high and low. I asked fandom on Twitter, Malcolm Go fans on Twitter, I said, listens are down. It's a fact. The listens were down. My numbers are down. I had to go. I went to Reddit. I asked a lot of people. I said, what's going on? I hypothesized maybe it was because the record was shitty. Tom Brady's on the team anymore. It's less interest in the league.
Unless you're just down, and we're not necessarily paid. We, for some reason, really I think we predicted 3 losses in 6 years of doing this podcast.
I've been predicting losses left and right. I mean, I didn't have any. I was just very depressed over the podcast numbers the last few weeks. I had I went on Twitter, got recommendations of what people wanted to hear, and then everyone just listened. Was like, this sounds great. Sounds great. I was like, well, listen to the fucking podcast then, or tell your friends anyway. So one guy was like, I don't like swearing. I was like, oh, well, obviously this isn't for you.
Yeah, I can't help that.
Yeah.
That was directed towards me, and I understand.
I recommend you stop being such a faggot. No!
Yeah, that's what I'd recommend, fella. Anyway, one guy was like, I think Tyler should do some of his stand-up materials. Is this his manager? Who is this?
Yeah, that was me. No one's ever said that.
Somebody really said, do his stand-up material. You think I'm just going to sit here and pepper Tyler with his, hey, so Tyler, I heard you went to the pet store the other day.
Oh, jeez. So I was, I don't know, have you guys been to Trader Joe's recently?
Yeah, so I was at Trader Joe's, and boy, have you seen the stuff that they've been putting out called Dirty Juan's Tortilla Chips? Or no, Trader Juan's Tortilla Chips. Yeah, they want to change the name. I love that. I love that on late night shows where they just lead the comedian into his bits. I hate it. It's like, who does it a lot? Who I love, and Opie and Anthony were like famous for avoiding it forever. But then they used to do it as bits with Brian Regan. Like, which one? So I heard you used to be in a science fair when you were a kid. It's famous. Yeah, the yellow one's the sun. The yellow one. That was cold-blooded. Have a great time with my thing. So anyway, 2 weeks ago. Just the depression. I was like, this team's going nowhere. I was ready for them to lose to the Jets, and I was honestly excited because I'd never seen the Patriots have, once in the last 20 years have like a top 10 pick. Seymour and Gerard Mayo. I mean, what do they average a top 10 pick?
Hightower, maybe.
He wasn't a top 10 pick, no.
Where was he selected?
He was selected in the 20s. After Chandler Jones went higher than him.
Oh, shit.
Chandler Jones was like... They traded up for both of them. I think Chandler Jones was like 17, and then he jumped up again and got Hightower at like 23 or 4, something like that. But Gerard Mayo was, I think, 6, and Seymour was higher than that.
Like 3 or 4.
3 or 4, yeah. And that's the last time they've ever drafted in the top 10 that I could think of. And, besides Drew Bledsoe and Terry Glenn, but that's like a long, long time ago. So I was honestly, when they were losing the Jets, I'm like, this is kind of exciting. Like they're going to lose this game, and then the Jets literally just lost on purpose. I mean,
there was nothing the Jets. People said that, but what the Patriots did to the Jets in the second half was just grown man football. It was just hand the ball off. We're just gonna muscle you up and down the field, and they just carried it into the Baltimore game. The offensive line is like. It's the old school snot flying out of the face mask football.
They are playing old school. I love it.
Best.
It's the 2018 version of the Patriots where you just run. And literally, Cam Newton looks so good because all he has to do is he's learning Patriots football, which is, take a drop, play it, short to long, whatever you can get, and it's always little dump offs. Just dump offs to James White, dump off to Rex Burkhead, and he throws a touchdown.
The ball away.
Yeah, that's it.
And then just throw it away.
If he could somehow combine it with running the football himself sometimes, it's a great offense that could work.
It's fun. It's because, Shaq Mason is an absolute machine. Like
the whole offensive line is elite.
Monster.
Like literally, there is probably three linemen that could start on any team. I mean,
the middle, the whole.
Tooney would start. Tooney and Mason would start on probably every team, and Onwenu, the rookie, is like a stud. Could probably start on most
solid.
teams.
Yeah,
Wynn could start on most teams.
Wynn is definitely like.
Wynn probably wouldn't be left tackle on a lot of teams, but he could start on most teams.
Yeah, that's true. And
you're talking.
Andrews is like that. He's just like a patriot.
Yeah,
he's just perfect. So it's like you have a great offensive line. I guess Izzo blocks. Everyone talks about it like he's a great blocker. I don't know. Yet to see it, but
he doesn't matter. They literally just line up bodies that play. Like literally, if you said you were a tight end, they'd be like, "All right, whatever, fine. That's what you'll play then." They don't have anybody. They signed some guy, some journeyman that was drafted by the Texans, I think, like last year, and people seem to like him. Then he got cut. And then he went to Arizona, and he got cut from there, and now he's the Patriots' probably best tight end
in the last 3 years.
he was cut twice. He's a 6th-round draft pick, and he's probably the best tight end we have.
And then everyone. This is another one I can't handle. We are Sony Michel stands on this podcast.
We are Sony Michel, but we should bring up that he has officially, in my mind, lost his starting gig.
It doesn't matter. That's like saying it's like saying oh, the nickelback isn't as good as the starting cornerback. Yeah. They could be on the field at the same time. It's not like
that would be
I'm fine with that.
I'd love to see Sony and Damian Harris in a wishbone formation.
That's probably the next
what our offense is anyway.
But at this point,
triple option.
What would be wrong with in the fourth quarter or whatever, the second quarter, when Damian Harris by the end of the last couple games, Damian Harris looks like he's like running straight up and down in the fourth quarter because he just runs so hard. Yeah. And so he takes a beating. Some of those carries could go to Sony, and we would be fine. It's not like he runs burst. Back. He's last game he played, he had 110 yards.
I know.
He's not embarrassing. People were just like, oh, he sucks.
The thing I think about, though, is there's this battle going on between Harris versus Sony. Sony's a bust. Harris should always play. Yeah, they're both good. Sony's not a bust, but Harris is better. But Rex Burkhead is probably the best running back that we have. Complete running back.
Yeah, he's the best all around. Harris is by far our best runner.
Running up the middle. I don't even know. Is he? Because I feel like Rex Burkhead is just as good.
I don't think Rex Burkhead could handle 15 carries.
15 carries up the middle like Harris did against the Ravens.
Harris is banging on people.
Yeah, he is. And he fucking runs through them, and he has these little quick jukes and shit. I don't know. I feel like that was like a home run pick. And I don't know why the Patriots do these first-year red shirts with these guys. Like Harris clearly could have played last year.
Yeah, I wonder. Obviously, he's definitely really good. But
do you think that they get nervous? They're like, uh-oh. Like, if, they took him, they were like, okay, the value is too high to pass up Harris in the 3rd round. So we select him, but if we play him this year, like literally we took Sony Michel in the 1st round last year. If Harris comes in and is better than him, you feel like they're like, ugh, it's kind of a wasted pick. So they kind of make him sit for a year and learn. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he just didn't learn the offense as quickly, but I don't really like.
I feel like any running back can learn any offense quick. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like Pop Warner where it's like, okay, 21 dive, 22 dive?
Well, it's a lot of like reading like backside blocks on one. I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit to it, but I don't have any problem with having both. Like, why hasn't that? Like, all right, now we have Sony and Damian Harris. Like, why can't that be a thing that's gotten brought up ever?
Two studs, two good.
One guy who's he could rush for 100 yards a game. Another guy who could rush for 50 yards a game.
And then Cam, who could run for 11 because he doesn't run anymore.
And they're both they could both be fresh the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, why is that such a big deal? I don't care if Sony gets less carries than if Harris is doing better.
That's what the Patriots offense has always been, is whoever has the hot hand is getting the ball fucking 20 times a game. That's how Dion Lewis basically took over as the running back. Like, who was he on the team? I don't even remember who was on that team, but there was a starting. Was it Blunt?
Yeah,
it must have been Blunt. There was a starting running back that was good, and it must have been Blunt. And then, Dion Lewis was just so fucking good.
That was such like that run he had. When he like, it's weird to see a guy in the NFL like Lamar did a couple times. Like, juke NFL players like a couple in a row where they don't touch you. Like, that doesn't. A couple in a row doesn't really happen.
That's a rare talent.
Yeah.
And Dion Lewis is and JJ. This guy, they got JJ. What's his name? What's his name? The running back, JJ Taylor.
Oh yeah.
He's got that type of.
Yeah, he's
thing.
not bad.
He's got that type of fucking weird, quick juke move like Dion Lewis had. But I don't know. That was so exciting because like Patriots players never have someone like that. Like the guy on the Eagles, whatever, that was there forever. He was the punt return.
Westbrook?
No, well, him too, but I'm talking about
Deshaun Jackson.
No, the punt returner, kick. He's always good, but he's just tiny running back.
Oh, Sproles.
Yeah, Darren Sproles, and he's just like always good, like just quick, make you embarrass you running. Like I was always excited about having a player like that. I couldn't believe he was that good. And he was. I remember when they played Pittsburgh, game 1. He's lined up. He's fucking 5'5", and he's lined up outside the numbers, catching slants from Brady. I'm like, this is awesome.
That's when you turn to another level. Like Devlin was doing that. Devlin ran a great hitch route.
That's all he did.
A 6-yard hitch. He was open every time.
Speaking of Devlin, do you have any confidence in the fullback that they are currently employing? Jakob Johnson.
Like, I don't mind him, but it's just weird going from a guy where like Devlin, where like
who's built and meant to be a fullback.
Devlin never got. Never mind, did he not? He never got stood up. Never mind blown back. Like
no.
Johnson got blown back a couple times.
Did he?
Like,
I never even. I can't. I never watch a fullback. Like Cam had that easy little pass to him, and he had a double catch. It was like a 12-yard. It was like a crucial play, and he double caught it. Cause I understand it was a hurricane, but like
like the last 2 minutes.
I was looking at it, I was like, oh god, and he fucking caught it though. So I give him that, and he ran for 12.
That was a nice play. That was definitely a big time. Like they needed that. I mean, he's been playing all right. He's fine. He's good enough. Like, the offensive line is just. I mean, they're just so good.
Yeah, no. I mean, the Ravens are a good defense. They were missing Calais Campbell, but I mean, still.
Yeah.
They still are bullying them.
I mean, the Pats are missing 19 guys on defense.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, and that's the whole thing about the Jets too. Maybe the best draft pick they've had since Gronkowski that I can think of.
I'm
already so jazzed about Kyle Duggar.
Yeah, because anytime he makes a mistake, it's like, all right, he is a rookie and he's in an impossible position, but then he makes like some crazy plays. Dude,
he's playing on the fucking edge last game, and then he's making plays inside. You know, he's covering the tight end, and then like fucking crashing on blitzes against Lamar Jackson, not letting him get outside. He made a great tackle to keep somebody in bounds at the end of the game.
That was from
awesome. Out of nowhere. He was like third. He was out of the picture. And then whoever caught the ball, one of the running backs from the Ravens caught it, and Duggar was on him in like 2 seconds.
He's big. Like he's a big safety.
He is going to be an all-pro safety.
Yeah, he's like that guy because he's probably gonna put on more muscle. So he's gonna be like
he's gonna be a Patrick Chung.
I'm trying to think.
Like I don't want to like convince. I don't even know who I could say he's like.
Maybe
but he's like
Eddie Jackson.
He's like almost like a
box.
He's almost like a Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas hybrid. You know, he can cover and smash you because he's so fast and big. You know what I mean?
He is big though.
Yeah, he's big. He's big. He's bigger than like most safeties are, but he's fast. He's like a mix between Chung. Maybe he's not like Earl Thomas, he's like Cam Chancellor because they were both super elite, but like he's like in the mold of like a Chung and McCourty mix.
Yeah,
he's both.
He's weird, but he's like bigger than both of them too. So
he
he's, like,
could
athletic.
legitimately play
He's
like
kind of
linebacker.
If Troy Polamalu, but like Troy would play a shit ton where he'd be like
Sell out.
he'd be
and
at the line
stupid
of
shit.
scrimmage and then all of a sudden like the ball would snap. He's 30 like yards behind the line.
I was
of
never
scrimmage.
enamored by Troy Polamalu, maybe because Tom Brady legitimately embarrassed him every single time they played.
Yeah.
I don't think that there was ever a game where I was like, oh, Troy Polamalu is ruining this game for the Patriots. I know, like, he got in the Hall of Fame, and I was like, why? Like, I was like, Ed Reed, like, played like a head game with Brady where, like, Brady would sometimes throw interceptions to him and, like, make mistakes, and Ed Reed would capitalize and make big plays. I don't remember Troy Polamalu ever making a big play against the Patriots, not in his whole career.
Yeah, I really. You know what? That's a real.
None of his whole,
racked
I
my
remember
brain.
there was, like, several times where he, like, looked Troy Polamalu off and threw deep bombs against the fucking Steelers. Like, several
Yeah.
times. And I don't remember him ever doing that to the Ravens. But I digress. He's a Hall of Famer because he did crazy shit and, like, jumped over the line and everybody liked him because of his crazy hair.
I mean, he had 1 million tackles.
Yeah, I mean, he was a good player, but, like, he never impressed me playing the Patriots. I mean, like, his entire career, was the Patriots dynasty. So it was like he came in, Patriots just dominated from start to finish. He won what? He probably won the Super Bowl with Ben,
The second one.
the second one, and that was it. And then he never did anything again. Brady just demolished him for the rest of his life. They did make it to the Super Bowl and lost, right? Or did they win? No, they lost
No,
the
they won
Packers.
twice.
Lost to the No, Roethlisberger won twice, but I don't know if did Polamalu
Troy
win twice.
probably didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but doesn't matter. Anyway, so that Jets game really, I was like halfway in, halfway out. I'm like, kind of was like, fuck, man, this team really does suck. And I'm just looking at them like the defense is getting embarrassed by fucking Flacco. This is the worst offense in the league, like in league history, and they're just going up and down the field with rookie wide receivers and retread wide receivers that you've never heard of. They're just walking all over us. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, Cam was scored, but the defense couldn't stop. I'm like, what is going on? And I understood Gilmore was out, and fucking Bentley was out, and all these guys are out. So they had no run defense. Lawrence Guy was out. And it's impossible. You fucking got they literally had 4 practice squatters playing in that game. And J.C. Jackson was getting beat. It was fucking a bad game all around. And then they just did enough to win. I mean, what's really helped is the emergence of Jacoby Myers, who apparently is an all-pro now.
I mean, the way he runs routes is just like
He was leaving.
it's instinctually good.
Yeah.
Like it's just like he gives you just like that little like coming out of the break.
Twitch.
He gives you like a little waits still gives you an extra step, waits till your hips are turned and then runs. It's like he's reading defenders, but as he's running routes,
He was
it's nice to see.
leaving Marcus Peters and his fucking on roller skates the whole game.
Oh, he's spun him around a couple times.
First of all, I hate Marcus Peters. I can't
don't
even
like
look
him
at him
either. I don't know
hate
why
his
he
fucking
really
guts.
bugs me.
Because he's just a fucking emotion. He's just a punk. He does nothing about him. Like, he doesn't seem like a good teammate, a good person at all. He's been, you know what? He's been traded, but he's been thrown off 2 teams.
Yeah.
He's got enough value that you could trade him for high picks, but he's literally been thrown off 2 teams.
And Ramsey feels like as much as Ramsey did that thing after the Jaguars had one good year when he went just talks so, which I thought was hilarious. Just went down every quarterback in the league and called them trash.
Yeah.
Which I actually love that. But Ramsey seems like a guy who his teammates probably love him. Like if you were rooting for the Rams, you'd be like, oh, Ramsey's fucking awesome.
It's like a Marchand thing, like a Brad Marchand. Like he's a punk.
He's your punk.
But exactly, you like him.
Feels
Peter's
he's fucking real good, but he's
I don't even think
whatever.
he's good. I've never when did the Patriots again another Polamalu type thing? Every single time they play a Marcus Peters team, I feel like they just pick on him. They played him in the Super Bowl and embarrassed him when he was on the Rams. They played him against the fucking Ravens and threw the ball 6 times, and they were all at Jacoby Myers, who was being covered by Marcus Peters. And Peters is fucking committing penalties out of bounds because he's fucking frustrated.
Yeah,
he's
that
a
was a
head
weird
case.
play.
He's just a head case, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I would never want that guy on my team.
No, he doesn't.
He got thrown out of Washington, too, by the way. So that's 3 teams he's been thrown off
What do
of.
you mean Washington?
The University of Washington, he was thrown off the
Oh,
team.
he was thrown off the team?
He was thrown off the team. Yeah, he didn't play his senior year, or he played only a few games. Got thrown off the team and still got drafted in the first round by the Chiefs.
what a
And the
stud.
Chiefs lasted maybe a year and a half with him. And he
Yeah.
was an All-Pro, I think. Led the
He
league in
led the league
interceptions.
picks his rookie year.
Yeah, led the league in picks, and then they traded him anyway. Because he's fucking. I'm telling you, he's crazy. He's something wrong with him.
Speaking about leading the league in picks, who
We have been beating the bar, slamming our fists for J.C. Jackson for years on this pod. We invented the just cover Jackson movement. Here.
I love him.
I feel like every play he makes is like I'm like a proud father.
It's like I get so excited. I thought because before the year I was telling everyone I knew, J.C. Jackson is like a top 5 corner in the league, and a couple people were like, "Who are you even talking about?"
He struggled against the Jets, but he locked down.
He struggled, but he also had a pick.
The Ravens,
So he made a couple mistakes. He had that one slip like on the line scrimmage. Yeah, all right, it looks bad, obviously.
Yeah,
and he let up some, but getting that pick back.
He's not a speed guy, so he might get beat. He's like the ultimate number 2 corner. You know what I mean? It's like exactly like what they did with Revis and Browner is what they're doing right now, where Gilmore is like the lockdown island cover guy who covers like the number 1 receiver. And then J.C. Jackson's just a bully that's just gonna beat the shit out of you all game. He's bigger than everybody.
Yeah, and it actually works out because who do they have coming up? They have
Houston.
He'll cover Will Fuller perfectly.
Yeah, he'll just bully him or fucking Randall Cobb, whoever. He'll just knock somebody down.
Like Cooks is you wouldn't want him on Cooks.
I don't even know who you put on. John Jones could cover Cooks.
McCourty maybe.
Yeah.
Jason McCourty is he's so up and down to me. He's still the starting cornerback, and I think it's just because of his brother.
Yeah. If you please let him play. He's
know,
good.
He's
but
fine, but then all of a sudden he'll make bad plays. They also if Devin McCourty, he 5-6 drop picks.
Yeah,
not even oh wow he could have tipped that up. No, just drops,
straight up drops.
Real bad drops.
He's having a great year again too.
Devin's having a real good.
He's not even close to finished, and I'm worried he's going to be one of those early retirees. He's just done.
Well, he said it this year. The reason why he came back was because he knows he doesn't have too much longer.
Yeah.
So he said he had to play.
I don't know, but he's playing better than he ever did. The last 3 years, he's been better than the previous 5. You know
His
what I mean?
brother come and helped a ton.
Yeah, I think it kept his motor running basically.
Yeah, because they all of a sudden he has a resurgence where he looks good.
Yeah.
Thank God they have him. He was calling the defense.
And he should be calling the defense. Yeah. They've got fucking literally practice squatters at linebacker.
Can we talk about goddamn Winovich?
He's a stud.
He is not a stud.
He's a stud.
He is
what are you talking about?
Did
you not let his last game was he was all over, never stopped moving. He was all over.
All right, but if have you heard one word about Jonathan about Simon?
No.
Simon,
he's the lunch pail player. He's a lunch pail man.
He was.
I don't want to hear any words about John Simon.
He was a machine last week.
Of course he was.
Dominant against the run, playing all over the place. Looked awesome.
I don't think
Winovich
you understand.
Makes one sack, and then the next play he rushes upfield. Lamar runs right underneath. 12-yard game. Blah, blah. It's you're fine, Winovich, but why does everyone love this guy?
I love him.
It's his hair. I think it's
no, it's not his hair. I'm telling you, it's his motor never stops. He's very much like he's like a J.J. Watt, fucking Rob Gronkowski, big personality, fucking never stops moving.
Yeah, like a Clay Matthews, A.J. Hawk, just really a white NFL.
I don't know. He reminds me a lot of Wes Welker, and I can't pin on what it is.
I'm just thinking he's like
Listen, John Simon, I'm telling you, you take him and you put him in the back of your head. He's there always. You just have to worry about 10 other players. John Simon's always going to be there, and he's always going to set the edge and be a team first player. He's a perfect Patriot.
Last week.
I hope he's on the team forever.
He's just perfect. He's solid. He just takes on blocks.
He sets the edge.
Yeah.
My favorite thing in NFL. I don't care if you never have a sack. If you set the edge, you're my favorite player.
Yeah. I like that Winovich is playing. I like when they put him off the ball. I thought that was a good move.
Him and Simon were off the ball, setting edges, running into rush lanes, creating havoc. They had something like 11 disruptions last week, or 12 disruptions, which is fucking quarterback hurries, QB hits, all that. It was
Boucher looked okay. He made a play or two.
Again, him and Anthony Jennings are in no-win scenarios.
Yeah,
they're rookies playing without a middle linebacker. With anybody that knows what they're doing. He's learning on the fucking go.
I do. That D tackle they got. Where did these guys come from? All of a sudden, it's there's a 320-pounder on our team now. This is great. Why didn't we just do this before?
It's just so good. Is the NFL's so big and they have such big practice squads now. They're like so many veterans that have been good but kind of like busted out a little bit were like put on practice squads instead. So this guy Carl Davis was like a second round pick or something from Baltimore, and I think the Patriots took maybe Malcolm Brown or something, so they didn't need him. But he's from Iowa, and he's like a Patriot guy. So like a giant
awesome.
Iowa nose tackle. Like they always take shots on Iowa guys. You know, they did it with Adrian Claiborne a few years back. They always just take Iowa guy, Ferentz, all these, because Kirk Ferentz is like Belichick's boy.
Yeah.
So like they took his son, even though he stinks, and then they have and then just put Iowa guys on the team. They love him. So like this guy was like, they thought maybe they'd pick him, but they had Malcolm Brown instead. So this guy doesn't do shit in Baltimore. And then he went somewhere else and got cut. And then now he's just on a practice squad in like Jacksonville or something. Patriots signed him, needed a D tackle, and he's the best player on the D line last week.
I mean, it's gonna help. Lawrence Guy must be like, thank Christ.
No shit.
Someone else, I'm not getting triple teamed now.
No kidding. Like
Lawrence Guy is, he's getting killed.
He's got 3 injuries. He's got like knee, shoulder, and elbow on the injury report.
And he played last week. He looked fine. Like
Fine. He just needs help.
Yeah, don't practice. Hang out.
Yeah.
Well, just make it like another week.
I know.
That's all they need.
They really. I mean, they could. I'll tell you, that Kyler Murray Hail Mary saved the season. Because if Buffalo won that week, we were we were pretty much done.
So the only way they can make the playoffs is if they win the division. Is that what you think?
No. No. If they can, the way that their schedule's set up, they have like 2 tough games left.
Well, I mean,
They have
Houston,
3 tough, but 2 of them are
no,
away. So they got
no, that's not fair. Because like this is going to be a tough game.
at Houston.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's winnable.
It's winnable, but it's
What do they have? 1 win, Houston?
tough.
It's
That doesn't
tough
mean
because
anything.
every game's going to be
Because
tough
they're
for the
bad.
Patriots.
Yeah, so like
because they're not good enough, but
they
they're
can't
good.
really win.
I'm counting tough as like tough for like a playoff team. You know what I mean? If you're worth being in the playoffs, the tough game is Arizona at home and Miami on the road. You should be able to beat Buffalo at home. You should be able to beat the Jets at home. You should be able to beat Houston on the road. And then who else? That's it, right?
What do they have? What week is this?
I don't know.
They're 4-5, so there's
They're
9.
4-5. They could
They have
legitimately
7 games left. 3 division games.
which Buffalo at home, Jets at home, you should win both of those. Which is huge to have that Buffalo game. Because they're really what?
I'll
Because
tell you this
Buffalo's
much.
7-2?
If the Patriots go 5-1 in the division again,
Yeah.
that would be the best.
They could do it. Why not? They could they could legitimately run the table. If they win, all they have, I'm telling you, Arizona and Miami on the road, Arizona at home, Miami on the road
no.
are
And
the
then they
2
have
tough games
The
left.
Chargers and the Rams.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about those games.
Those games
okay,
are
they're
gonna
gonna
be real
lose.
tough.
They're going to lose one of those games. So, if you lose one more game, you're 10-6. And Buffalo loses to you. So I don't know what Buffalo is. Are they 7-2? Or
Buffalo is 7-3 now.
7-3?
They just lost.
So then they'd have to lose basically 2 more games, and 2 more games, and then the Patriots have to beat them. So they have to lose 2 more games, but they have the Steelers.
Well, no, if they tie them,
Chiefs,
if they
I think.
both have 5 losses, so if they lose one more and then they lose to the Patriots, they have the same amount
Yeah,
of
but the
losses.
Patriots had to run I'm thinking the Patriots can go 10-6.
You think they can win the division at 10-6?
Yeah, they could. If Buffalo loses, like they got to play Miami, they got to play the Chiefs, they got to play the Steelers. They could easily lose 3 games. Patriots could win the division. They have an easy enough setup schedule.
10-6,
That
they
Baltimore
might
Ravens game
grab
changed
a
everything.
wild 10-6. You could grab a wild card.
Yeah, you could. Especially because I
Because
think they're expanding the playoffs too.
There's 7 teams in the
At
playoffs.
least 7, but they were talking about making an 8th too. I don't know why, but they were thinking about it. And they hold
mid-season 8th team.
what?
They're gonna add a team middle
They
of the
just
season.
decided. Yeah, I think they're like maybe we'll add an 8th team because of COVID. I don't know why that matters, but then they'll just give like another team a bye. But anyway, they beat the Raiders already. The Raiders are going to be a wild
That
card.
was a big win.
They beat the Dolphins already. They could be a wild card
Who else
team.
is in the West? The Chiefs, the Broncos.
They lost the Broncos.
Card-
The Broncos won't make it.
Broncos won't make it. Chargers won't make it.
You got the Colts.
Then you have the Browns, Baltimore, and
And we beat Baltimore, and they'll be high up because they're not going to. Steelers are going to win the division. I don't know. We'd have to. I mean, it's doable. It's fucking
Pittsburgh's
doable.
gonna win, and then you have to beat the Browns.
We probably have to win our division, I would think, because Baltimore and the Steelers are going to have good records.
and then the Titans and the Colts are good.
And the Titans and the Colts will have good ones.
So there's going to be 3
But
wild
there'll be
cards.
3
So
wild
it could
cards.
be the Patriots,
yeah.
Baltimore, and the Titans.
Browns.
That's the 3
Browns are
right
pretty
there.
good, yeah.
But then they could beat the Browns and Raiders easily. I mean, that's not
Yeah.
really that. In the Dolphins, they could beat all 3 of those. So
Yeah, I mean it's doable. I'd love to win the division again. Just you come from behind. I mean, you like I said. I think the Bills. Let me Google the Bills' remaining schedule because I'm pretty sure I know they have the Steelers. I think they have the Chiefs too. They definitely have the Patriots.
they just have such a slim chance of winning.
Okay,
every
the Patriots
game.
have the Bills have the Chargers, the 49ers, Steelers, Broncos, Dolphins, Patriots. So I thought they had the Chiefs. Maybe they already played the Chiefs. Yeah, they already played the Chiefs and lost. Okay, so yeah, I mean, so they already played the Jets twice. So that's good. So they have Miami at home. That sucks. Miami at home, Patriots on the road, which we should win that game. Bills at Broncos, they could lose. Steelers at Bills, they'll probably lose that. Bills at 49ers, Chargers at Bills. So they got 6 games left. They got to lose 3 of them, including the Patriots. So, it's close. I mean, they could lose. I could see 2 losses there, easy. Patriots and Steelers. They got to lose 1 out of 4. It's doable.
Yeah, I don't. It's just the only thing with the Patriots is like,
What are you going to get out of them?
no, it's not even that. If you make the playoffs, like you just play good defense and run the ball
Yeah.
and be the Titans.
That could beat any team.
Yeah, so
They
it's
just
like,
beat the Ravens. You know what I
They
mean?
could beat that's all you have to do is run the ball and like,
Control the clock.
yeah, maybe get lucky. Maybe someone else knocks off the Chiefs or something.
Yeah.
Like something weird happens. Like you could be all right.
I'm under no fucking, idea that this team could ever make a run at the Super Bowl and like beat the Saints or the Steelers or the Chiefs or anything like that.
No,
or the
Steelers
Bucks
are a problem.
at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of
But-
problems out there.
Like the Patriots could easily steal one from a fucking good team in the playoffs,
Yeah, definitely. If their defense shows up,
especially if they're hot going in. Like they're pretty hot right now. I mean, that Ravens game is going to get them going. I'm telling you. I wouldn't be surprised if they ran it up on the fucking Texans. The offense seems to be clicking right now.
Gilmore has to be looking for a contract, right?
Well, he's got 1 more year left.
He's got 1 year left.
Yeah, after this.
So you have to expect him to come in and like want to play,
Yeah.
like be hungry. Because right now it seems like he definitely didn't really want to play that much when they started losing. Like
No,
he
I would doubt he
doesn't really like getting in the run game.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what he's about. Like
He wants to cover and dominate at it.
yeah,
He's
and
good at it.
everyone's trashing him like he's having a bad year. It's like no, he's not having a bad year. He's having a non-defensive player of the year.
Yeah, he's
sure.
he's still the best cornerback in the league.
He's
probably.
still really good at cornerback. Like all right.
He's a
some guy-
top 2 or 3 corner in the whole league. On his best weeks, he's the best. On his off weeks, he's probably the 3rd best.
Yeah, in his off weeks, it's like, yeah, this guy had 80 yards on him. It's like, oh, what a bum.
Yeah,
This guy-
in zone coverage. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
That's the other thing, too. It's like, anytime, all right, you're near him and the guy caught the ball, so it's on you, but it's
Yeah.
like, was that even your supposed to
no, because they have no linebackers, so they're playing zone a shitload. So, and then they have, if they can get these linebackers going, they can get a little bit anything out of tight end.
Duggar keeps moving.
I mean, they really could. I mean, fucking run it.
Phillips, what a steal. What would you do if you had Chung, Phillips, and Duggar? Like,
I don't know.
You
And
would
they
imagine
have
that-
Brooks too, and Brooks. They're like all the same player.
Brooks is, I haven't really even seen him this year.
He steps in every once in a while.
You're a big Brooks guy.
I'm a Brooks guy. I mean,
I don't
I
care
got a
for
soft
Brooks.
spot for a Brooks. Anybody that plays special teams and plays defense, I love it.
I'll tell you who can take a hike is Jonathan Jones.
You're not a fan of him?
I want to, but
How about Joanne Williams just never plays?
yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. I think they literally drafted him to like cover certain players, and then the linebackers are just so bad that they don't have the luxury of like picking and choosing when to put him in against just tight ends.
Like 3rd and 8.
yeah,
I don't think we've had a 3rd and 8 all year.
Yeah, he's like the guy that has to come in on a tight end to like lock him down, or a big wide receiver lock it down on like a long 3rd and 11 or something like that, or just full game when like your linebackers are covered, you're playing man only, and he can just man up somebody all game. And they don't have the luxury of doing that. I think he's just like now just And I don't think that's his fault. I think he plays fine when he's in, but I just don't think they have room for him right now.
How quickly did this defense change? What was it? Was it the beginning? No, it must have been 2 years ago when we thought Hightower just stopped having the ability to run.
Couldn't run
Remember
anymore.
how slow the defense? We were like, what is going on?
He literally looked like he had concrete shoes.
The defense is like the slowest thing of all time. So like,
I think that was 2 years. The year they won the Super Bowl, and like
it was 2 years, and then finally he took some time off and then came back. He was healthy, and then they made a run.
someone his knees, which I wouldn't put that against him either. Like maybe if he comes back next year, he's fast again.
Well, I'm not saying that, but
He just has a lot of injuries.
The defense was slow.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, we were like, oh, it's slow. And
then it comes
now
together.
it's like, I don't think Deshaun running the ball really should be a problem against this defense.
No, I
Like,
think
they're
they have
so fast.
They have good defensive speed. They just can't cover well, and they have like their defensive line and the linebackers have no idea what they're doing most of the time. So it's like trying to find. Lamar Jackson passed up so many like runs that he could have made to like throw the ball in the rain, which was weird. I don't know if that was part of their game plan,
but maybe like if you're looking at it from his point, it's like, yeah, he had runs. Maybe the lanes weren't as open as they felt like on because a lot of times it feels like that. But then you have like 3 guys standing 7 yards down the line. It's like
a lot of times they were rushing like 2 guys, 3 guys, and just sitting back and waiting. And he couldn't find anybody open. I mean, they played good defense. It was a great game plan. Belichick fucking. I love when he comes up with shit like that, and then I get aggravated because I'm like, that's so good. Like he needs to be able to use that in the playoffs.
Simple.
Yeah, but I was like, that's so good. But I'm like, why can't he use that in the playoffs? And I'm like, oh shit, we have to fucking win every game, probably even to get to the playoffs. So,
I mean, yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to do against Deshaun because you can't really. They're not even close to the same quarterback.
No, but he's a better
Lamar and Deshaun.
He can do everything Lamar can do, except for he's a little bit slower, but he can throw a lot better.
Yeah, they should have another stat. Like, I don't know how Lamar won that MVP. Kyler Murray has more rushing touchdowns this year than Lamar had last year and this year combined.
Is that true? Really?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray is fucking awesome.
He's the real deal.
Yeah,
like,
he's better than Lamar Jackson.
Oh, no. He's way better. Yeah.
Yeah, he's better than Lamar Jackson because he can throw the ball. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Because like you're not gonna be able to rush 2 against Deshaun. He's gonna launch it 40 yards downfield.
Yeah. Lamar could throw, but he's just not as accurate, and plus his wide receivers aren't as good.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray has stacked wide receivers.
Yeah, Kyler Murray has great wide receivers, and Houston has good wide receivers. Yeah. Cooks and Fuller.
I don't know. Some with Cooks that it's just like everybody's just like, fuck him. Like they get him for like a year. When he was on New Orleans, I'm like, this guy's elite. Yeah. He's so fucking good. And then he came to the Patriots and he was good enough. And then like he just hasn't done anything like impressive.
Yeah, the Rams that was such a bad fit. Boy, they overpaid for him. That was just didn't make any sense.
The Rams fucked up literally a decade worth of Rams football by doing that. They paid like 5 players everything they had,
and they have no first round picks until like 2029
because Jalen Ramsey.
The country's not even going to exist at that point.
Yeah.
Why?
No.
I'd
be surprised if the Rams could even exist in LA by then. Like they already don't have fans. I mean, they played in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And there was 11 Rams fans there.
The homeless are just going to take over the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers will outdraw the Rams.
The Chargers are kind of a fun team.
And they have awesome uniforms.
Yeah.
They have a good rookie quarterback, good wide receivers, good defensive ends. They're better than the Rams, I think. The only thing the Rams have on them is that they have a better coach. And I don't even know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't even...
Because everyone was blowing Sean McVay for... knowing the defense because he was coaching against them that year and he remembered like a high school play once. They just loved that he had gelled hair and was like 25 years old.
It just bugs me that, you can remember something from 4 years ago. It's like every coach in the NFL can do that. That's why they're all in the NFL.
Bill Belichick's reciting the Navy schedule in 1941. Nobody gives a shit. They just all take it for granted. But this new guy with gelled hair and biceps is telling you, hey, look, I'm playing fucking Calais Campbell this week. Good. Congratulations.
Every quarterback can do it. You ever watch, you listen to some podcasts with NBA players on it? They'll tell you sequences from college games 10 years ago and remember play after play. These guys are just different. That's why they're where they are.
Yeah, that's why they're pros. They have they're not only elite athletes, their brains work on a different level.
They just remember weird stuff and they can pull it up exactly when they need to.
Yeah. And so I mean, what were we even talking about?
We're talking about how the Pats
Lamar
are
and
going to
Kyler
struggle this week with Deshaun.
I know. Yeah, they'll just struggle, but I think that they can do anything they want. I mean, again, it's fucking a team in disarray, and don't even discount the fucking Jack Easterby storyline either. Fucking Jack Easterby, Patriots. He was the Patriots, whatever he was called, the morality chief. He's basically a fucking a fake pastor. You know what I mean? Like just a godly man that like
what
leads.
the fuck are you talking?
Do you know?
about?
Okay, so maybe you don't.
No.
Maybe you don't go. Maybe you don't dive deep into the NFL
What are you
underworld.
talking about?
Okay, so I said don't. The Jack Easterby storyline. He was a Patriots morality guy, which he was basically. He's the guy that like leads team prayers and fucking, helps people like exist and like if they have issues they talk. He's like a guidance counselor,
like a sideline coach. Like
he's like
he's
a guidance counselor for the team that makes you happy and leads you in prayer.
So
and
he's booking hotels and
no, he didn't even do that. He fucking helped like just the players. If the players were sad, probably he would be like, okay, let's read Psalms 11:23.
Like, he wasn't like a man like.
He didn't coach linebackers. He didn't do anything like that.
Yeah, but I figured he'd be like one of those like, hey, like you put my wife in section 184 and then put my girl in like 312. Like, it wasn't that guy?
No,
he wasn't like a ticket guy.
I'm telling you, he's the guy that leads.
He was just all pure.
He leads the prayer circles. He makes people happy. He probably says quotes that like.
So what's wrong with this?
Nothing wrong with that. But what he said, his ego got a little too big for himself, and he thinks that maybe he can run an NFL team. So he took. Mind you, he was on the Patriots staff when Aaron Hernandez murdered several people, stayed through it.
Wait, where did he come from? Like, has he
know.
always been with Belichick? Or?
No, Belichick hired him out of some college, I think.
They hire
everybody. Yeah, he hired him out of a college, whatever. So this guy gets a little too big for his britches, thinks, I know enough. I'm going to start fucking learning, I'm going to start teaching I want to learn how to run a football team. And Bill's like, what are you talking about, idiot? You like fucking, you tell the Our Father and that's it. Nobody wants to listen to you about like your personnel decisions. So he uses the Kraft thing as a way to get out, the Kraft like jerking off thing. And mind you, like I said, he was there when Hernandez was murdering people while they were trading for Josh Gordon, all this shit. He was there for all these guys. And he leaves, goes to Houston because he knows Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien puts him in the front office, gives him a shot. This guy...
As what?
I don't know. He's like a player personnel guy. Nothing. He's like he's got no player personnel experience whatsoever.
So this guy just feels like...
So he's there, he cozies up to like the fucking owner there. He gets invited back for the Patriots ring ceremony because he's on the team. He's the Super Bowl champion year. He was the 2008. He was still the morality guy. And so he comes back at the fucking ring ceremony. He tries to steal Nick Caserio to be the GM of the Texans.
What?
So this whole thing comes out that he's fucking Caserio's thinking about leaving, and fucking Easterby is planting all these stories in NFL media that Caserio's gonna leave and all this shit, blah blah blah. He's gonna come be the GM of the Houston Texans. None of that was true. So. Whatever, fucking the Patriots file a lawsuit against the Texans for tampering. Ooh. The Texans lose, have to drop like pursuit of Caserio 100%. Easterby fucks up. And then, Easterby keeps getting closer and closer to the owner. And he fucking ends up helping get Bill O'Brien fired, the guy that hired him. Gets him fired. And then that nerd. Bald head. And then
Look at this creep.
This last week, he fired like everyone, the GM. He got
executive vice
Bill
president
O'Brien,
of football operations.
He had Bill O'Brien fired, the GM over there fired, and then this past week he fired a female press relations lady who like the whole team and the whole NFL loved. Like said that she was the best at her
just
job.
Kicked her out?
He fired her and said that she didn't. She didn't have the same like I forget. She didn't have the character of the team or something. And like she wasn't like part of the team's like, fabric. Didn't have the same thing in mind or whatever. So everybody was all over him. Like Easterby's a piece of shit. Everybody hates Easterby. And Belichick fucking hates him. I'm telling you, he hates him. And I would not put it above him just running the score up on the Texans because of it. The saga of Jack Easterby. He's literally he's literally fake it till you make it.
This is HoustonTexans.com.
Yeah.
This is his bio. At one point in his bio, Easterby and his family started the Greatest Champions Foundation, educational nonprofit for Christian athletic partners, blah, blah, blah. But, like, it's like if you're like, all right, you're going to be a player personnel guy.
Yeah.
Create a Wikipedia. All he has is, over his impactful career, he has served as a team/athlete development consultant for multiple NBA teams, United States national teams. That's the most vague thing of all time. United States national teams of what?
Nothingness.
That could be any sport ever.
Yeah.
It could be 12-year-old soccer U.S. national team. Like, that means nothing. PGA Tour players, Major League Baseball players.
It's just made up. Like, you could. That literally sounds like my college resume. I just put anything I ever heard on there. Like, I think I put National Honor Society on there, even though I know that I wasn't in that. People were like, I'm in the National Honor Society. I was like, cool, me too. And I just put it on my college resume. You think anybody's looking that up? No. Go to the National Honor Society .com. I don't even know where you go to it. I was as much National Honor Society as anybody else, and nobody even knows about it. This is exactly him. He's a piece of shit that sucks, and he
assisted in both academic and spiritual accountability initiatives.
I think that's what
on
they call
the
them,
South Carolina campus. What does that even mean?
Nothing. It's a made up. He literally made up a whole resume. He's faked it till he literally got. He's literally second in command of the Houston Texans, a year removed from fucking saying "Our Father" at center field for the Patriots in like Super Bowls.
Listen to this. This couldn't be more of a. This is in his. He must have written his own bio.
He probably did write it.
Because listen to this one. In Easterby's first year with the Houston Texans, the Texans put together a 10-6 regular season and captured the AFC South title. On the back of a 4-2 division record with a signature win against Super Bowl Kansas City Chiefs, the New England Patriots, blah, blah, blah. He just wrote that like he was the starting quarterback.
If it wasn't for Easterby's guidance.
I never even heard of this guy.
He's a nobody. You shouldn't know who he is. But when he left, people made a big deal of it. Like he was the fucking reason players loved playing here.
Houston went on to defeat the Buffalo Bills in a wildcard round and earn its fourth appearance in the AFC divisional round in franchise history. As a result of the team's success, Easterby was named Executive Vice President of Football Operations.
After being there for 1 year.
But that doesn't even, like, what does that have to do with him?
Nothing. I'm telling you, he usurped power there. It was a coup. He was sent in there, and he was like a Trojan horse, basically.
He
Trojan horsed himself to the top. If he would do by any means necessary, a godly man like him got hired by his friend and then ruined his friends' lives. He just went in there, fired all of them. Somehow, weaseled himself to the side of the owner. Was like, we got to fire the coach, also the GM that hired me.
He was the one who traded Hopkins to Arizona. That's a fact. Remember they traded Hopkins and everyone was like, what the fuck?
Well, they said that's Bill O'Brien.
For David Johnson. Yeah, and then Bill Johnson gets fired and this guy's like in charge of everything. This guy was pulling the strings before that.
Yeah, and all the fucking negative shit that was coming out about the Patriots, he was leaking all the information.
What the fuck is this?
He's leaking all the information about the Patriots, the Caserio thing he was leaking. The guy, I'm telling you, he's a snake, and he's a phony god man.
Yeah, this guy's creepy.
He's about one step above fucking Father John Gagan as a god figure.
It's just weird.
But I'm telling you, now he's running the Texans. With this guy, he's got no first-round picks, no elite wide receivers. Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt already don't like him. They were like literally in the media saying like, why would they fire this lady? She was the best at her job, and that makes no sense.
Yeah, this guy
he's ruining the team. It's gonna be the best. I can't wait to watch it.
He already did.
I hate him.
Their team is awful.
Good. And that's why I think the Patriots should beat the shit out of him. Like, Romeo Crennel is in an unwinnable situation. Like, he doesn't want to be the head coach of the Texans.
He's a male trophy wife, is what he is. Like, he got close to an old owner.
Yeah.
And all he did was fucking...
No, you know that, like, they're Houston, and these guys are old Houston guys, and they're definitely super Christian. So he's probably fucking eating that up.
Yeah, they're old oil money.
Yeah, reading the fucking gospel.
This guy might be in the CIA.
I don't know what he is. He really bugs me though.
He's a
I
creep.
hate his fucking worm head. Looks like a light bulb.
Yeah, he does. He looks like Bezos. He looks like all those creeps.
Yeah. Maybe there's something to be said about fucking light bulb head. You just like maybe you just on a different you work on a different plane mentally. I don't know. So what have you seen? I'm excited about Jacoby Myers' emergence.
This guy's weird. This
bugging
this
you right
throw
now?
It just confused me.
Yeah,
I didn't expect to be talking about Jack Easterby tonight. I
You
never
will
heard
always-
of this guy.
You always have to talk about him. He's on my mind 24 hours a day. My wife's literally about to have a baby at any second, and Jack Easterby controls my life.
What?
Have you not seen her? She's 9 months pregnant. She's due on Thanksgiving, so
Jeez.
could be any minute at this point.
We got a week away.
I know. I'm nervous because
This could be
even
a
if you have no symptoms and you test, because they're going to test me when we go into, like, when she delivers the baby, they test you for COVID, and if I have no symptoms, I just can't go in if I test positive. Even with these bullshit tests like they do with your Q-tip, like point of contact.
you've been to 2 already.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen it. I mean, trust me, I've seen it.
Do
I
you,
feel like my wife would hold that against me like it was my fault, though.
Are you in the room or you're like the smoking the cigar, drinking a scotch in the waiting room guy?
That's very much not, it's frowned upon these days, Tyler.
You know,
I think you'll learn that.
What?
No, that's very much frowned upon.
I thought there was a cigar section that
I
you weren't
wish.
allowed in.
I would have been there in the second one. The first one, I wanted to be there. I was like excited.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I was like, I don't need to be. I was literally thinking about 2 weeks ago, because we probably haven't potted since then. I'd gone to like, I don't know, 3 or 4 ultrasounds in my life, between my 2 kids. I probably went to the first one ever for my son, my firstborn. I was like super excited. It's like almost as exciting as, having the baby itself. It's like, oh my God, like this is real life. We're going to have a kid. And then you find out the sex of it and all that shit. So it was very exciting. And I was like, oh, everything, the heartbeats, you're fucking crying because just to hear a heartbeat like of a thing you made, you're super excited. And then I went to like the second, maybe another one for my son, and then probably the first one for my daughter to find the sex of that one, and maybe the last one for that. And I didn't go to any for this kid. And then I went to this last one. It's gonna be the last ultrasound like I ever have, because I'm not getting her pregnant again. I'm gonna get snipped immediately.
You getting the snip?
I have to. I can't do it again.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl. So I went, and it's literally, I'm sitting there, and my wife's, you gotta come. I was like, all right, cool, let's go. I was excited, like going to the hospital, like this is the last one. They're gonna check, make sure everything's okay, and she's ready to come out. I was like, all right, whatever. So we went, and they sit me down in the corner, and there's a TV in front of me, and I swear to God, it's just the baby's so big, it was just blur. I'm like, what am I looking at? And the lady was doing the thing. She was foreign. So I couldn't understand a word she was saying. She's like, the kidneys. I was like, why do I? The kidneys? I was like, okay, great. Can you show me the face or something? Anything interesting. I was like 2 seconds into it, and I was nodding off. And the fucking thing went on for like 45 minutes. I was like, all right, the baby's in there. Can we just is it coming soon or not? It's like nothing on this planet loses its excitement faster than that. I'm telling you, from like time to like the first ultrasound, first baby is like the Super Bowl. And it gets so much worse after that, like so much more boring. Like the first one, you couldn't be more. Like, every second, you're like, oh wow, like here's the heart, here's the kidneys, here's the fucking feet, and then like on the last one, I'm like, wow, this is the. It was to a point where like my eyes were shutting.
You know how like they could do like those gene editing things now?
Yeah.
Does that get brought up at the hospital?
It's never been brought up. I'm sure it costs.
That's
I'm
probably
sure it
good,
costs
yeah.
money.
It's probably a little weird to bring
I'd
up.
fuck
like-
it up too. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I want blue eyes, and then the kid would come out with, like, I'd click on the blue eye link, and then the kid would come out with black hair, blue eyes, and fucking look ridiculous.
They would probably look at you guys like, "Hey, are you sure you don't want? You want to make sure this one has hair because
We're gonna keep. We can click this link. He'll have hair throughout his whole life. I'd say
I
no.
mean-
He should struggle like me. There's no reason for that.
we're looking here. It says, yeah, he's gonna fail history in 3rd grade. What? How'd you?
That's impossible. Yeah. So nothing loses its value quite like the ultrasound. Just sitting there. I mean, I was like, all right, I've seen it. And I think everybody out there has got the same fucking story because I was nodding off. And my wife was like,
How long do they take?
I don't know.
I actually
35 minutes, 40 minutes.
I took Papa to like 10 ultrasounds. That's all I did. We were fucking
Even babies?
He got more ultrasounds. I didn't even know there was a thing besides just for babies. Like,
Well, I think they do for
to
like
look for your kidney.
yeah,
Like,
they look for like kidney stones, right?
yeah.
Kidney stones and
What did he have? He
other
had,
things probably.
Something in his urethra.
Oh, nice. Do they have to put? So let me ask you a quick question. So for a urethra, do they have to put the like the gel on his penis and
No.
then
No,
and
no.
go up and down it
No.
with the fucking paintbrush thing?
No, he used to have me do that, but I feel like I was getting tricked.
I was used with my mouth, and there was no scanner.
Are you sure you need this much?
This is a lot.
Keep going.
I make my own gel.
You do want to live here, don't you?
It ain't free.
No, you get him on your. It was something like he would do him on his stomach, and then they looked at his kidneys, and then the track from your kidneys down through. I don't know. There was infections and stuff, but I think it was not. No, they didn't do it on his penis.
Well, you said urethra, and that's
I know,
the only
but I
spot
think it
that
goes
the
all the way up, right?
Does it? I don't know. I'm not a science guy.
Yeah, I get nothing.
Yeah, I'm not a science guy. Anyway, so Pats Texans this week. I think that the Patriots. I don't know. I feel like the Patriots are on a hot streak right now, and it's going to start to roll. Cam Newton is locked in on Patriots offense. If we can just get him to unleash his legs a little bit more, I'd be more happy with where we are. But I can legitimately see a big run coming. Like, if I could see them ripping off the rest of the schedule, and fucking, I don't know. I just see it happening. I think they're going to beat
the same way they.
I don't know. I just feel a Patriots run coming right now.
I like it. I mean, I have to say, I do. I have hope.
I feel it. Like that Ravens game was a catapult. It was the starting line of a start. Of a run.
I was thinking about it too because who did they? Oh, the Bills.
Yeah,
that Bills game.
They could have won that game. They're
win that
legitimately
game.
like 3 plays from being a fucking 7-2.
I think they win the Bills game. I don't think they would win the Ravens game. If that makes any sense. Like I feel like because of where they put themselves, they're such in like a mindset right now. I really do think that they're not really feeling themselves as much as they know they can't lose
at all
anytime. Like they can't have any slip ups or they're done. So like they do seem pretty locked in right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, they're fucking 3 plays from being 7-2,
and they're played hard. I mean, that just
the fucking Seattle goal line stand, the fumble against Buffalo.
the Harry pass.
Against Denver, which
Good
could have
to
been
see him
played.
back.
Yeah, didn't do anything, but
No.
he existed. He
Yeah.
was there. So I mean, whatever. But I think I think they're gonna go in there. I think they're gonna roll on the Texans. I think the Texans have quit on their team. Like, not that they're a bad team, but I think they've just quit. I think that they hate the ownership. I think they hate the.
Deshaun's gone as soon as he can leave.
He just signed a big deal, but I wouldn't be surprised if he forced himself out of there.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt, I think, wants out.
He's gonna leave. I mean, all these guys. I mean, what do you do? David
Easterby
Johnson
has ruined the team.
You trade the best wide receiver in football for like a semi washed up running back. There's a million of them. That just doesn't make any sense.
Did they get picks back for that? They had to have gotten.
It was like a second round, maybe. It was like David Johnson a second or a third for Hopkins.
Dude,
I
they
mean,
were
he's
legitimately
the best receiver.
Remember, like 2 years ago, the Patriots were trying to trade for Hopkins, and it was something. It was like Jamie Collins for fucking DeAndre Hopkins. And
Brady loves him.
Would have been unbelievable. Can you imagine? Brady'd still be here if it was Hopkins was here.
Probably.
Yeah. So the things, whatever. I think Patriots go in there, and I think they fucking roll too. I think it's going to be 34-14. I think they roll.
Who?
I don't know. I have a feeling that
It's a
Bill
dog
wants
fight.
to run it up.
I feel a dogfight coming. I mean, you're on the road, tough game.
No.
22-20. Patriots by a game-winning field goal.
Wow, you think they're going to be down? Okay.
I think it's going to be
Nick Folk, by the way. I apologize to Nick Folk because I gave him so much shit at the beginning of this year, and he's been nothing but daggers since.
Nick Folk is nice.
Yeah.
He is solid. Like he's just
He's doing what he needs to be doing.
And our punter is
the
dominant.
Best. He's the best.
He's dominant.
He's a weapon. As
He's
they
a
say.
weapon.
All right. Listen on the, we are on YouTube. I'm thinking about bringing in a camera. We can do this live. Just shoot this bitch right on and put it on YouTube.
That'd be,
Epic.
The
Do it live
podcast
like
is
Rogan.
The podcast is a good. We have a good studio setup.
We do have a good studio. We can put a camera right here. Anyway,
We get some bitches chilling on the couch
Yeah.
smoking blunts.
I'd love it. Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Get wild. Anyway, follow us at Brady Disciple, MalcolmGoPodcast, gmail.com. email, subscribe, rate, tell your friends. We still want to keep getting these numbers up. I'm having a good time doing it. Glad to be back. Go Pats, go. Go Sachems.
Do your job. All right, don't try to make too much out of it. Just do your job. 7-8 months ago, right? All for this moment. It's about honor. It's about respect. We win this game, you're honored. Your kids are honored. Your families are honored. We are three.
Stacked receivers, two to the right. Russell Wilson extends the hands he has. Wilson, quick throw. And it's intercepted. Intercepted to Malcolm Butler. Butler has it at the one. Malcolm Butler stepping.
And Warner goes back to throw, and here's the blitz by Mike Vrabel. The pass is intercepted. They got it. On Taiwan, 30, 25, 20, 15, touchdown, touchdown. Taiwan picks it up and takes it to the house. For Adam Vinatieri, 48-yard field goal attempt. Set to go, snap, ball down, kick up. Kick is on the way, and it is good. It's good. It's good. Adam Vinatieri booms a 48-yard field goal, and the game is over. And the Patriots are Super Bowl champions. The Patriots are Super Bowl champions. The best team in the
Hey! Did it.
I love you, man.
Did it, bro. I love you. I love you. You worked your ass off.
You're the greatest quarterback in the world, man.
Hey, I love you, man.